Alright, so hello and welcome back. Today is a very sunny day, very beautiful day, and I am very happy. There's a lot that I wanted to talk about. The very first things that I have a midterm on Monday, and my studying is a little bit low. It's not great, and I need to do a lot of. I need to take care of my hair. I need to shower. I don't know what's wrong with my voice. It's been like that for a few days. I've been looking like this for a few days. I mean, going into a medical program is the least you expect, right? Um, so, what I wanted to talk about today is the importance of people, the importance of random people. So, when I say importance of random people, I mean a lot of things. So, it stems from experience, and I've traveled the world, so I consider myself more knowledgeable than someone who's older but has not had my experiences. So life matures you not based on your age. It matures you based on your experiences. And what I would say my biggest like not my biggest experience, but what I've experienced and what I have seen led me to think of the following. So basically, people are a jumble of stupor, unknowledgeable, ignorant human beings. Whether you like it or not, whether you like to think whether you're a good person or not. So this is just people. They are made, some of them are made to just stand in the way of other people because their lives are so ridiculous. They're just, you see that as an example of a lot of people. A lot of people that you see them, for example, when you're walking down the street and you find people just staring you out, talking about you. Like, if your life is interesting and whoever you're talking to is interesting, you wouldn't be talking to each other about someone else. That's because your life is so miserable that somebody else caught your attention. And instead of you saying something positive, you just don't want to say something positive. You know why? Because inside of you are so much battles and so much hate and so much disgust and so much garbage. Very, how would I say that? Satanic garbage. You just cease to see. Sometimes you cease to see the beauty, but sometimes you see it, and that's what makes you hate it. And a lot of the times, and a lot of the things I didn't understand is when people tell me people are trying to get a reaction out of you. I'm telling you, I'm starting to realize the importance of not saying anything and how much more powerful it is than just saying something, because saying something means you care. And if you care, it means it got to you. It's not, you're not like, it didn't get to you. And, when you talk about something, you step out of that zone of being higher. You start discussing that with basically a freaking person that wants to talk to anyone. And negativity is the way they do it. Unfortunately, this is how a lot of people are. It's not like just the people I know or just the people. It's just a lot of people. They and especially, it just it's just that you see negativity in this world a lot more than positivity. And vilifying is people's favorite thing to do. They vilify the person first, then they attack, and it makes their attack all of a sudden so okay. Because why? That person is a villain, and who made him a villain? They did, or he did, or you did. And this is how they start. This is the tactic of trying to demonize someone in order to attack. And this is the technique that a lot of people use. Another technique that people use, and I've seen this being used in politics and in interviews and all these things, is that you attack the person, you don't attack the question. Like, you attack the question, then you answer, because you cannot answer the question. You cannot answer, and you want the other person's mind to be confused by your insult. So, for example, I was looking at a speech for somebody, or not even a speech, a interview for someone. Someone asked a question, and this person was like, the nasty person that you are. And they answered the question. Okay? This is a tactic of attacking the other person so the other person does not know how to ask the next question. It's just a form of confusion because you just got insulted for no reason. It makes you really confused. So make sure you catch on people's tactics for confusing you. Those are not even advanced tactics because when you're on the outside, you can see it doesn't make sense. But when you're the person being insulted, all of a sudden you think that, like, why are they insulting me? Don't take it personally. They're insulting you to confuse you so they can move on and get to what they want and get to the point without you knowing how to ask the next question and without even the audience focusing on your answer. Because all of a sudden you made an insult, which the person themselves are going to start thinking, what is wrong with me? I must have done something to make him think this. People are not logical. We don't know the difference between OD and, and DO. They don't know the difference between these two. People don't know the difference between an Indian and an Arab. People don't know the difference between anything. They're just slobs of garbage walking around and they don't understand anything, whether it doesn't, I'm not saying if you have a certain status it makes you much better but trash. This is found everywhere. This type of human is copy pasted across the world and so many people. 80%, that's a quite accurate percentage. 20% or less are people that actually want to live, and the 80% is clogged onto the 20% or less, trying to just hurt them and make their lives harder. Have I seen it? Everywhere. Not just have I experienced it. This world is a fight between good and bad. And what I'm saying is that bad wins. Not most of the time. I can't say most of the time, but I would say more than 50% of the time. But what's great is God is the strongest power on earth. And we're living a very short time versus eternity. Because in eternity, or the thereafter, inequality and things like this are only going to be illusions. Just like right now, justice is an illusion. The same thing. Yeah, so I just had to say that and really devalue people. I'm not saying devalue them just being a crappy person, but devalue their opinions. You need to have good self-assessment. You as a person need to have good self-assessment. You need to know how to assess yourself so that way when there's an attack on the outside, you understand whether you actually are the reason or not. If you don't have good self-assessment, other people will be able to gaslight you. They'll be able to do a lot of mental harm to you, and you won't know if it's right or wrong. And that's when you're going to gaslight. A very dangerous place to be when you don't know, like, oh, did I do this? Just have good self-assessment. Know who you are. Have a good image of yourself. Okay? And for those of you who are overly delusional, try and get an accurate image so that way you're not hurt. That's what I think.